What's up, buddy? How you doing? Remember Lucasfilm? And I mean, remember the classic Lucasfilm that a lot of guys like me grew up with. Not this Disney era of Lucasfilm. The classic era when, I want to say this was an inspirational company. George Lucas was an inspirational guy. He came into the Hollywood system, which was, full of a lot of uninspired works and a lot of, control from the studio heads, wouldn't let you do what you want. And he made Star Wars. I mean, first he made, where is it? American Graffiti, he proved himself. Then he did Star Wars, which blew the doors off everything. And then he really set out to reinvent Hollywood, to really make this incredible company. I mean, we talk about, the great Lucasfilm movies, like Indiana Jones, Labyrinth, maybe not so much Howard the Duck, okay. But we forget about all the innovations he made in the technical side of things. Excuse me, with THX sound, the industrial light and magic. He even owned Pixar at one point. Like, this guy had it all going on. And they sold it to Disney. And they've destroyed it. They've completely destroyed the legacy of this man. And it didn't even take them, they bought it in, 2012? In 10 years, they've destroyed Lucasfilm? Everything. It's incredible what they've done in this company. And this week, we saw 3 major failures from Lucasfilm that make me think this company, it's over. Like, this is so embarrassing and honestly depressing to see a great company that we grew up with that has produced so much classic entertainment completely ruined and destroyed by these Disney executives who have no idea what they're doing. We're going to talk about the complete collapse of Lucasfilm. Don't forget, hit that button and subscribe. Okay, well, I got 3 stories here. This is all in 1 week. 3 stories of how far Lucasfilm has fallen. First one, probably, I don't know if this, I'm going to say this is the big story. The big story, Indiana Jones, Dial of Destiny. I think a lot of us were really hoping, okay, after Kingdom of the Crystal Skull or whatever the hell, we were hoping, please just end it on a good note. Please don't screw this up. It's Harrison Ford. He's so old. He's never going to make another one of these again. He's on his last leg. Let's be real. Harrison Ford's going to be dead within the next 5 years. You already screwed up the death of Han Solo. Can you please not screw this up? And as we're seeing, 49%. This is going to be a depressing video. I'm legitimate, and I'm not even a huge Indiana Jones fan, believe it or not. I like Indiana Jones. It wasn't, crucial to my childhood in the same way that it is for other people. I look at this more as a disappointment for Harrison Ford, because I do love Harrison Ford, and he's a great actor. One of the greatest of all time. Incredible actor. And it's so sad to know that his iconic characters of both Han Solo and Indiana Jones are going to end their sagas in this, I don't even know how to say it. I mean, I haven't seen this movie yet. I don't know exactly what's so depressing about it. But all I know is the death of Han Solo was one of the most disappointing scenes I'd ever seen in cinema. I felt nothing. And the fact that we're going to get somewhat the similar out of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Why can't things just go right? Why can't just these things that we love, why can't they just get it right? Everything was riding on this movie. Spend whatever amount of money you need to fix it. Go back, reshoot scenes if you need to, but you can't put this out with a 49%. Here came the story. And what this story tells us is that Disney is insane, the Disney Lucasfilm people. Because they premiered it at the Cannes Film Festival. Which makes, I don't think that makes a lot of sense. My understanding of the Cannes Film Festival, it's a lot of weird, yes, it's all movies, but really the stuff that gets celebrated is weird art films and ritzy-ditzy stuff like that. You're not going to, debut the new Transformers movie at Cannes. You'll get laughed out. I guess they thought because it's Harrison Ford and it's his last Indiana Jones movie that audiences would be into it, but apparently it got a very muted reaction at this film festival. And it also tells us they were crazy because they put it out there thinking, again, this is a month before it even comes out. If you got a movie that's not that good, what you do in Hollywood is you wait a week or a couple days before the movie comes out. That's when you let critics, you break the review embargo, as they say, let the critics put out their reviews. Because if the reviews are bad, you know, you don't want them sitting out there for a month. You want people to hopefully have not heard of them. They just go, oh, there's a new Indiana Jones film. I haven't heard anything about it. Let's go see it. Instead, Disney thought they had a hit. They really thought this was a good movie. That's the only reason that they would have debuted it a month ahead of time and not had a review embargo on it. I guess they really thought that the critics were going to go, wow, that was great. This is incredible. But it's now been out there for, you know, we've got 37 reviews, and it's at a 50%. People just were not happy with this movie. My hope, you know, cross my fingers, is that maybe, again, it was these French film snobs. I mean, it's not just French people at Cannes. People from around the world come. But I'm hoping maybe that, like, more, I don't know, down-to-earth reviewers, guys who don't have access to fly to France and see a movie, maybe they're going to like it. Maybe this is going to bring up the score. This is a really bad starting score. This is really bad. This movie is not, even if it is, like, okay, it's definitely not, like, you know, it's not incredible. It's not going to blow minds. If anything, it might end up being passable. But God, how disappointing is that? Well, let's talk about continued disappointments from the Lucasfilm machine. I don't know if you guys saw, Disney stock is down. There's a number of reasons to argue about exactly why that is. But as we saw from Warner Brothers, one of the things you do if you want to make your stock price go up, if you want to, you know, move some stuff around on your balance sheet, is to start taking things off of your streaming platform. The reason for this is that, well, it sits on the streaming platform. You have to pay the writers and the producers and everything. You're paying residuals. You know, every week it stays on there, you're sending out those residual checks. If you yank it off, you no longer have to send those checks out, and you get to depreciate the asset all at once. Meaning that if you were, you know, you know what, this is a complicated tax thing. Go look it up. Look up asset depreciation. The point is, by yanking it all at once, they get to write all this off on their end of your balance sheet and make their numbers look bigger. But the big standout here of all the things that are being removed, you know, and there's a ton of stuff. What's crazy is these were big franchise Disney Plus, like, tent poles. I remember when they were advertising Disney Plus, they're like, we're going to have a new Mighty Ducks. Well, not anymore. That's gone. I always, whenever I turn on Disney Plus, they're like, you got to watch The World According to Jeff Goldblum. Well, apparently not. They're getting rid of that. Stargirl over on Hulu, which they also own. They're getting rid of Why the Last Man, all that stuff. So this is not just a Lucasfilm specific problem, but let's be clear. They're getting rid of Willow and the making of Willow, which these were huge Lucasfilm productions. Willow was supposed to be a smash hit success. We already knew it wasn't getting another season because nobody really liked it. But this was, like, again, one of the big tent poles for Disney Plus was, you sign up for Disney Plus, we're going to give you Willow. Remember Willow? We've brought it back. It's going to be better than ever. Not only did it fall on its face, but apparently so few people are still watching it or signing up for the service. You know, because I'm sure there are still some people like, I heard it sucks, but I still want to watch it. No, the number of those people is not enough to even keep it on the service. They're just getting rid of it. That's how much of a failure it is. I mean, there's other shows on Disney Plus which, you know, have sucked, but they didn't get yanked for nobody watching them whatsoever. The fact that Willow doesn't have anybody watching it, that they can just yank the whole thing. And did it only come out? When did Willow come out? Willow TV show release date. It's not that old. November. It didn't even last a year. That's so embarrassing. Not even a year, and it's just gone. They're like, nah, it sucks. It fucking sucks. That's it. It's over. The series will be removed on May 26th. That's 3 days from now. You don't even have time to go watch it if you don't want to. Canceled after only one season. We don't have, you know, again, they keep the numbers for TV under wraps, but they definitely spent millions on this. It's a fantasy series, which has a higher budget than, you know, like a crime drama where you can use existing sets. This, you got to build sets, you need CGI, whatever else. They must have lost a fortune on this show. And again, Disney, in terms of Lucasfilm franchises, let's be clear. Indiana Jones, they destroyed it. Star Wars, they destroyed it. Willow, they destroyed it. What else can they destroy? What's left? Land Before Time? We gotta make. We gotta get a Land Before Time film that's depressing and terrible. And of course, the big piece of Lucasfilm failure news that we've already covered and we will continue to cover as we get more details is, of course, the death of the Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser Hotel. We now have the final numbers of how much of a tax write-off they're going to take from this thing. They get $300 million. That's how much they get to go to the government and go, we lost $300 million on this. Please let us pay less taxes. $300 million write-off, as stated by Disney Parks Chairman Josh D'Amaro. And let's be clear, that's just the tax write-off. I think to get to a $300 million tax write-off, they probably lost more than $300 million. I would not be surprised if they lost $500 million on this thing. And people said I was crazy when I said that was how much this thing must have cost. But if they're able to write it off for $300 million, that means it's worth at least that much. They at least invested that much into it. You know, there's creative accounting in Hollywood, sure. Maybe they're fudging the numbers to get to that $300 million. But gee, golly gosh, this how were they ever, if it's worth $300 million, how were they ever expecting to make that money back? A concrete bunker full of singing ladies and look, I think it's the same lady from that one commercial where they rat out Chewbacca, and it was kind of like World War II German imagery. It was not good. I don't know what to say about it. Honestly, but guys, honestly, like I'm laughing, but I'm laughing to hide the pain at this point. It's just sad. It's so sad. You know what my connection to Lucasfilm was? And I was thinking about it before I started this video. I used to own Zombies Hate My Neighbors on the Super Nintendo. And I remember booting it up and seeing that little Lucasfilm logo. And Lucasfilm really meant quality back then. Or if you played their great PC games, Sam and Max, and Full Throttle. You know, all this great stuff that they made. And I guess I can't be mad at George Lucas for selling it to them. I mean, he's an old man. What was he going to do? Keep running it forever? He was done. He was done making films. But he trusted these people to take the company and continue on what he had made, to continue making great things and great products. And they just threw it all in a dumpster. And I hope George Lucas is happy. I hope he's fine. I don't know, man. I feel bad for that guy. I really do think George Lucas is a very important figure who did a lot of great stuff for Hollywood. And the fact that they took his company and they've turned it into this complete failure machine. Again, I'm laughing, but it's to mask the pain. What a sad thing for not only his legacy, but Harrison Ford's legacy, Carrie Fisher's legacy. So many legacies have been destroyed by Disney. And I don't know why. I don't understand the incompetence. This should not have been that hard. It should not have been that hard to make a good set of Star Wars movies, to make a good Indiana Jones movie. Even Willow, how did you screw that up? These are great properties. Why don't you ruin something everybody already hates? Ruin Howard the Duck. ruin Red Tails. Nobody's gonna lose sleep over that. But God, you really bungled it, you guys. You're killing me, Disney. God. Well, guys, as always, please let me know in the comments. What do you think about Lucasfilm's continued failure? Is there any way for them to turn it around? I doubt it. They're gonna make a new Rey Skywalker movie that's gonna fix Star Wars. I doubt it. And I really want to thank all of you who have gone to Indiegogo and checked out my campaign for my very first graphic novel, Super Killer. We have just crossed $35,000. We have 600 plus backers right now. And I hope you guys watching this video, if you care about great entertainment, if you care about great storytelling, again, I'm not like these Hollywood guys who's just going to go out there, fart out some garbage and tell you to swallow it. I have poured my heart and soul into making a great comic book. And I really hope you guys will check it out and consider getting yourself a copy. Because again, I think this is the only way we fix things. I think right now the mainstream is dominated by psychopaths and weirdos who don't know how to make great entertainment, great art. And I'm hoping that the independents, guys like me and other creators who are putting out these books and music and films, I'm hoping this is going to show these companies, oh, this is how you do it. This is how you make something great. Maybe I'm crazy, you know, maybe they're never going to read my comic book, but I'm just hoping this general sphere of independent creation, that eventually the mainstream's going to take notice of what guys are doing and be like, why are we not making stuff as fun as what these guys are making? So again, guys, Indiegogo, check out Super Killer. There's a link in the description. I'm sad about what's happening to Lucasfilm. I really am. I don't think you turn it around at this point. And I just have to... I just accept what? That Indiana Jones is dead, Star Wars is dead, all these great franchises are just garbage now. The only thing you can do is make your own stuff. This is my rebellion. This is my way of dealing with the pain. Is, well, if they're gonna fuck everything up, I guess I'll make something. And I hope you guys out there, if you've got a creative bone in your body, if you've got a story to tell, please do the same. We need more storytellers because these companies are just destroying art, and it's sad. It's so sad.